Tesla. Nikola Tesla. I love his name. The way you can say it. Nikola Tesla was working for the European division of the Continental Edison Company. He was a brilliant inventor, and Charles Batchelor, a plant manager and a personal friend of Thomas Edison, persuaded him he should seek his fortune in America, giving him a letter of introduction to Edison himself. So began the life of woe and tribulation that lasted until Tesla's death. When Tesla met Edison in New York, the famous inventor hired him on the spot. Tesla worked 18-hour days finding ways to improve the primitive Edison dynamos. Finally, he offered to redesign them completely. To Edison, this seemed a monumental task that could last years without paying off, but he told Tesla, "There's $50,000 in it for you if you can do it." Tesla labored day and night on the project, and after only a year, he produced a greatly improved version of the dynamo, complete with automatic controls. He went to Edison to break the good news and receive his $50,000. Edison was pleased with the improvement, for which he and his company would take credit. But when it came time, but when it came to the issue of the money, he told the young Serb, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor," and offered a small raise instead. Tesla's obsession was to create an alternating current system, AC, of electricity. Edison believed in the direct current system, DC, and not only refused to support Tesla's research, but later did all he could to sabotage him. Tesla turned to the great Pittsburgh magnate George Westinghouse, who had started his own electricity company. Westinghouse completely funded Tesla's research and offered him a generous royalty agreement on future profits. The AC system Tesla developed is still the standard today. But after patents were filed in his name, other scientists came forward to take credit for the invention, claiming that they had laid the groundwork for him. His name was lost in the shuffle, and the public came to associate the invention with Westinghouse itself. A year later, Westinghouse was caught in a takeover bid from J. Pierpont Morgan. J.P. Morgan? Pierpont. I love it. It must be a family last name or something. J. Pierpont Morgan. Oh, J is probably stands for Junius. Yeah, Junius Pierpont. These names. Sorry, I'm gonna continue. All right. So a year later, Westinghouse was caught in a takeover bid from J. Pierpont Morgan, who made him rescind the generous royalty contract he had signed with Tesla. Westinghouse explained to the scientists that his company would not survive if it had to pay him his full royalties. He persuaded Tesla to accept a buyout of his patents for $216,000, which is a large sum, no doubt, but far less than the $12 million they were worth at the time. The financiers had divested Tesla of the riches, the patents, and essentially the credit for the greatest invention of his career. Let's continue. The name of Guglielmo Marconi is forever linked with the invention of the radio. But few know that in producing his invention, he broadcasted a signal across the English Channel in 1899. Marconi made use of a patent Tesla had filed in 1897, and that his work depended on Tesla's research. Once again, Tesla received no money and no credit. Tesla invented an induction motor as well as the AC power system, and he is the real father of radio. Yet none of these discoveries bear his name. As an old man, he lived in poverty. Yeah, Tesla is a brilliant man. Tesla did everything right. Tesla lived in a different world. Tesla lived in his mind. And I did begin reading Tesla, but I shied away from him because you know my mind. But I'm probably gonna pick up Tesla again. I have to. I have to. I've heard so many stories about him that I need to put him out in the public. So see, I'm always saying more than necessary. But yes, we covered up Marconi, and we talked about, the 50 inventions, the machines that really catapulted us into this current age that we are in. It would not have been possible. Like the radio catapulted us. Microphone. The way I'm talking to you right now, computer, all of it, all of this is Tesla. AC. If we didn't have electricity, I wouldn't be have all this lighting and pumping this through all these systems to then get to you where you are seeing me later or now. Tesla did all this work and he got none of the credit. A reason? Well, Tesla's a good guy and he just went about doing the right thing. And he didn't like to be around people. He didn't want to deal with confrontation. And, he didn't want to bow down and deal with the whole thing of, oh, you want money? Like, you got to go grovel to these sponsors or you got to show and make an appearance and show your work and actually be there. Like, Tesla didn't understand that it was very important for him to be out in the public and, advocate for himself. He thought, my work will speak for itself. The logic will speak for itself. People know, they see that I do the hard work, but do they? But do they? Think of like Trump, for example, has a habit of talking about all the great things that he's done. Although he sometimes, is verbose and tells us some things that are just like, okay, all right, you're patting yourself on your own back a little bit. But if you think about it, Trump has to do that because the way that the media was set up in his first term in office, he had to do that. He had to be like, "Hey, I'm doing things. Hey, I did this and I did that." Every time he was out in the public, he's always saying, "Hey, I'm doing this. I did that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing that." Because here's the thing, if he didn't talk about it, no one else would talk about it. And the narrative that's already being put out there, half the nation wouldn't care to even go and listen to anything. But at least if he says it out in an interview, then maybe that can get clipped and it'll be put on any other platform rather than the main ones that we were thinking about in 2020, the primary ones, which are really no longer the main ones. But you can see, not advocating for yourself, not speaking about your work is going to get you in trouble. Like, mm, Tesla has been wronged. It's so sad. It's so tragic. He died in poverty, and all his mind, his power, everybody just took from him, and we barely even remember him. Barely remember anything about him.